Hello, my name is Ilona. Today is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. I just did a Dutch live, and I'm now going to do a recap with the questions I answered, well, at least the questions that are relevant. And I've got quite a lot that could be interesting for other people, obviously, who don't speak Dutch. So I hope the sound is all right. You can hear me correctly because I'm still trying to adjust the sound system. Of course, I've got a new laptop, so I'm still figuring this one out. So let me know, otherwise I'll try to adjust it again. We'll see. We're going to get this right. But first I want to start with the first question. And let me see, where is my, this is this one. And then I had, I forgot to put this down. I'm so sorry. I just wrapped up the live, so I really wanted to answer this correctly, but I'll get to it. But this time I forgot to have them all in order. So the first question I actually looked at was a very interesting question that originally this entire process where we're in was going to take a lot longer. It was supposed to take years before we would get through this. And I thought that was interesting, and they've adjusted it, and now it is faster. And it's very interesting because a lot of people are like, oh, this is so exhausting. This is taking so long. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if it actually was the idea to take longer than we are in. And again, it also depends on the frequency and what timeline you want to be in. But the feeling I'm getting is that it has changed. I had the King of Swords, I've got the Five of Wands, and the Star. So to me it felt there was a lot of fuss about this, like what are we going to do? But it's been adjusted. It's been adjusted with the off-worlders, the aliens that are helping us, supporting us to get us through this time period. But also because of humanity, we as humanity are waking up. We're waking up faster, probably even. I know this sounds very strange to some people, faster than they even anticipated in a way. So it's a very interesting feeling. So in a way they adjusted things, so it's actually sooner than we thought it was going to be. And some processes take more time. So it's very interesting to see, but I don't think this is going to be years that we have to wait before we will finally be, seeing the things that we want to see. I do think that things will change, and it's not going to take years. But again, time is difficult to say. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if this was originally meant to really take years. I sometimes even hear people talking about generations. And that's not the feeling I'm getting now. So I do think that things have changed. That's what I'm getting from that card reading. Second question is not, I didn't, got a card reading for that one, but I thought it was very interesting. That was for a question: how can we stay how can we get in a higher frequency when there are a lot of people in lower frequencies? And it's very important to understand that the frequency is up to you. You decide your frequency. That has nothing to do with other people. If they are in a lower frequency or not, they will have to make their decisions, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. That's their decision to make. We all have a free will in this free will zone. So it's very interesting to understand that you don't have to worry about other people's frequencies. You just have to focus on your own frequency. That will even help humanity. But if you raise your frequency, that will have an effect on the rest of humanity, because it's all connected. People can actually, see you, sense your energy, and that will give them a way to also raise their frequency. So don't be afraid of people in lower frequencies, especially when they're in very, very low frequency. They will be going in a completely different timeline. So really focus on your own frequency. You are not going to get in a timeline that's not meant for you. And the timeline will be, suited on your frequency. So Focus on your frequency. That's the most important thing. Don't worry about other people. Don't be afraid that you're going to get dragged down by other people. If you truly believe that, then of course you will be dragged down, because it is what you believe in. You have to understand you are responsible for your energy, your frequency, and your timeline. You don't have to worry about other people having an effect on it. They only have an effect if you let them have an effect. So I wanted to leave it at that, but I thought that was an interesting question I wanted to talk about as well. The third one is Aruba. I looked at the energy of Aruba. There was someone asking me that it's very slow in Aruba and it doesn't feel that people are waking up. Interesting enough, I've got the 2 of Wands, I've got the 3 of Cups, and I've got the 4 of Swords. And 4 of Swords and the 2 of Wands are both standing still. So there is a lot of stagnation going on there, but we have the 3 of Cups as well. So I do believe that the people in Aruba are uniting more, are getting together more, are connecting more, but things will need to get moving, because right now it's kind of standing still. But that most likely the people of Aruba will get everything moving again. So this is an interesting card reading. So that's Aruba. Then I also looked again at the sky. There was a question, what's going on in the sky? And I was like, what's going on? Is there still fighting going on? Is there military transports going on? Is there, aliens going on? What's going on? And interesting is these are the cards I got. So I've got the Page of Swords. I've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is a yes. So basically, yes. They're still fighting there. There are military transports. There are aliens. It was interesting. We've got white hat influences. I do believe that they have taken care of that they have in their hands most of what's going on in the air. But there's still some fighting going on. And there's also ways to get information coming in, especially now with all the energy coming in. It's also about information coming in. I think it's being used maybe by aliens, off-worlders that are sending information down for us to, get through this period, because there's so much going on in our energy. Our bodies really need to deal with it, but to be honest, there's a lot going on in the air right now. It's really massive. It feels like all kinds of things are going on. But the white hats, at least that's how I see it and how I feel it, have the biggest part of the air now quite under control. So just more local places where there's still some fighting going on. So that's interesting. Oh, I forgot to really his last name. I already had an issue in the Dutch video. Julian Assange. Well, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to take a look at the energy of Assange. I think Assange. Julian. The energy of Julian. We saw Tucker Carlson visiting Julian, and there's also from the 17th letter in the alphabet things about Julian that he has very interesting information coming out. And then when it all comes out, 98% of Washington DC can just move along, are going to be gone. And I truly believe that as well. So I just wanted to take a look at his energy, what's going on with Julian and everything that's going on now. We have the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. To me, he feels like he has so much knowledge, and he's going to help discernment. What is important, what isn't important. And they're working very hard for him to get things out again. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be something between him and Tucker Carlson. Things will be coming out. And he is there to, especially with the Queen of Swords, it's about discernment. What is really true? What is really important? What is, not manipulated? There's so much going on right now with all the manipulation in the media that people have no idea what is true anymore. And he will shed a lot of light on those things. So I do think things will be coming out from him as well, or concerning him, or having to do with him. So that's something to look forward to. The others I have, let me see here. This is interesting because I see, I skipped one. That's why I should have looked at this one. and someone else, I wasn't aware of it, but apparently a German minister said there was going to be a civil war and people should be prepared for that. I haven't seen it myself, but someone in my life was asking me about this. So I wanted to take a look at that energy. To me, it feels like programming. I also shared on my Telegram a picture where that actually says that they need us, our energy, for them to create something. And they do that by focusing our energy on something. Like for instance, this German minister that says there's going to be a civil war. People will start focusing on that. And that's how they create. They create by using imagery. And then when we focus on something and our emotions combine with that, I think that's very important. If you want to manifest something, focus on what you want and align your emotions with that. And that is a powerful manifester. That's how they do things. That's how they use TV programs, media, news to program this so we are actually the one co-creating it and they can use that energy to create. But the cards I've got is the Lover's card, I've got the Nine of Wands, and I've got the Emperor. So to me this feels like choices have to be made. This is old pain. He's reacting from old pain. But the military is not going to let this happen. I believe that we don't have to be afraid of really a civil war. They will try to create chaos. They will try to create and activate certain people that are MK Ultra, and they try to create these false flags. You see it happening in the Netherlands with Erasmus MC, the medical center in Erasmus in Rotterdam, if I'm not mistaken. But it's even Erasmus Medical Center. We saw it in Brussels with two Swedish, they were there for the soccer game, who were, left the earth plane through someone. And we see it in France, we've seen it I think in Germany. This is happening here in Europe, but also of course in America. It's happening worldwide. Try to create that civil unrest, hoping, divide and conquer, that people will turn against each other, groups against each other, so they can still get away with everything and manipulate everything. I don't think it's going to get that far. I think the military will step in. But this is programming. That's what it feels like to me. All right, the other thing I looked at was Indonesia, but I had cards I already used. So I got the little cards. I can now exchange them for the bigger cards so you can see them. We have the Queen of Swords for Indonesia, the Four of Wands, and the Page of Wands. So things are moving in Indonesia. Also, Indonesia is people are quite, in a way subservient. They do have this tendency of listening, of complying, but I think things are changing. Even the people in Indonesia are starting to understand things aren't what it seems. There is a spiritual revival of a new energy coming in, and the white hats are getting more influences out. So even in Indonesia, things are changing as well. It's beautiful to see. In some countries, some people are more compliant than other people. I've already talked about this with, of course, Germany, and also with the Netherlands, how we are a bit different in that way. And it's interesting to see. Every country does have a certain energy, and you do have to look back at how they've been run. It does give you an indication what people will accept or what haven't accepted in the past. And of course, not everyone will you can apply that to, obviously, but it's more of an energy with certain people. So this is Indonesia. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, it was a question I thought it was very interesting, that Elon Musk was keeps building all these factories for electric cars, but it's kind of collapsing. So they wanted to know if this has to do with medbeds. And this is interesting. So I just got the card reading on all these factories Elon is building, and I've got the Devil card, I've got the Four of Pentacles, and I have, the Three of Wands. So the Devil, Four of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. to me, this didn't feel like he has anything to do with the med beds. Just came up actually when I was doing the card reading. I believe the med beds are actually made somewhere else. Later on in the lives, that was actually confirmed by a few people that they are being built on the moon. And I didn't feel like they were being built here on Earth. So my feeling is, especially with the devil and the Four of Pentacles, he's doing this with a different reason. It's almost like he's closing in on different companies and factories by buying all these factories, by taking away certain people. It's like he's watching and seeing what kind of effect this will have on large companies, like what he did with Twitter, changing it to X, getting rid of all these influencers. He's still working on that. He always mentioned that there are still some algorithms that are working actually against, open communications. So it's very interesting to see. So I think he's building them for a different reason. Like he's trying to close in on certain people and trying to stop them in that way. So this is what I've got from the questions in my Dutch live. I hope to see you in another video. And I wish you a very good weekend. Bye!